Hey guys, my name is Mark Fitzpatrick and my career is in jeopardy. Due to the ongoing trouble, this video serves as my official response and open letter to the company responsible, Toei Animation. Over the last 24 hours, I've sat back in disbelief, shock, and sorrow as my life's work has been unfairly ripped away from me. And in this video, I will detail the current standing of my channel, why YouTube's content ID system is fundamentally broken, how Toei Animation are clearly abusing it, and why they will always get away with it if nothing is done to combat this problem. I will try to keep it as brief as possible, and I hope you will afford me your time as, at this moment, this video is the last and only option I have available left to me. 2 nights ago, I received an email notifying me that 15 of my videos had been copyright claimed and blocked by Toei Animation. 1 hour later, that number rose to 28, and when I woke up this morning, it had reached a total of 150 videos that my audience now can no longer see and that I cannot monetize. To put that into perspective, because myself and my team work on a single video per week, that equates to almost 3 years worth of work, and as a result, the main source of my company's income is now gone. I find this particularly devastating because I have a family to provide for, I have full-time employees to look after, and on top of everything else, it's Christmas. So, let's start with the Content ID system. I take my job very seriously. Because of this, I ensure that both myself and my employees adhere strictly to the fair dealings and fair use policies as outlined by YouTube and within my own country and other countries. I am shocked and appalled that I, someone that tirelessly dedicates himself to a fair use practice, has to accept and bend the knee as my life's work gets obliterated before me by a massive company that clearly has no regard or respect for the rules outlined by YouTube themselves. I write reviews, I criticize, analyze, and share what I know about stories. That's my job. It's a job that exists across radio, podcast, television, and a host of other mediums, all of which don't have to contend with the same insane treatments those that produce on YouTube do. YouTube shouldn't have different rules, and yet Stephen Colbert can produce a video last weekend that includes 100% more Toei Animation footage than some of the videos that were claimed by Toei from me, all without adhering to the fair use policy and getting shared to millions of people across the world. While Toei take it upon themselves to willfully ignore that and personally nuke my entire channel that actively succeeds in being transformative, eliminating years of hard work in the process. This isn't right. I'm not just one guy in his bedroom. I am the head of a small business that employs some of the hardest working individuals I know. People I am proud to employ. People that have families and dependents that they need to provide for this Christmas. Now, I've spoken in general terms concerning YouTube's Content ID being broken, so let me actually show you how it's broken right now. I've tried reaching out to YouTube, and time and again, they gave me nothing, which leaves me with effectively one course of action: the YouTube appeal system. When a video is claimed, I am given the option right away to dispute that claim, and when I dispute it, the claimant, in this case Toei, has 30 days to respond with their decision. That's right. The company that put the claim there in the first place, with no incentive to be honest or thorough in this instance, gets to decide the legitimacy of my dispute. Naturally, this gets denied, and that often takes as many as 30 days. After that, we move on to the second step. Remember, this is still just for one video, and this second step is called counterclaim. When I submit a counterclaim, YouTube once again gives Toei ample time to review for another 30 days, during which they again get to decide whether or not my claim is valid, and when they inevitably and arbitrarily decide that it's not, my channel then gets a strike. Which brings us to the last step, counter notifications. This is the phase where YouTube gets directly involved and we enter the legal arena. Once I submit this counter notification, effectively alerting Toei of my desire to bring them to court, they have 15 days to respond, and here's the kicker: they never respond. And by default, my video gets reinstated, which means they claimed my video, prevented me from taking that revenue, killed its momentum, and put me under a tremendous amount of stress for effectively nothing. And that was all to get one single video back. And I have repeated this process over the last 18 months to get 6 or so videos back. Unfortunately, with the way YouTube's system works, you cannot appeal multiple videos at once, especially because it incurs strikes of which you are allowed very few before your channel gets terminated. And so, as a result, in order for me to get all 150 of my videos that were wrongfully claimed and blocked reinstated, I would need to follow this process for over 37 years. And despite knowing that all of these videos will eventually be reinstated, I need to follow this bureaucratic dance well into my late 60s. That is entirely unacceptable at best and career ending at worst. And if that wasn't enough to show you how crooked Toei have been and how flawed YouTube's system really is, of the 150 videos that were claimed and blocked worldwide, 9 of them are drawing videos. Some of these took countless hours of work across numerous days to finish, and here's the kicker, they didn't use any, and I repeat, any footage from Toei. And even if they had, they're still, by their very nature, transformative. Heck, that is literally the purpose of these videos. This, therefore, highlights that Toei did not bother to do their due diligence, which is required, according to YouTube, to actually watch the videos to determine their standing with regards to fair use. And so, effectively, if Dragon Ball was in the title, it was removed. They clearly didn't watch any of these videos, and I know this because they took down over 50 hours worth of content in a few hours, oftentimes only seconds apart. And the irony of this is, Toei actually approached me themselves earlier this year to help them promote a series of concerts they were looking to hold across the Americas. Which I think highlights a fundamental and horrid hypocrisy in this circumstance. In one breath, Toei is happy to take down 150 of my videos for quite literally no reason, and in the next breath, they see me as a great mechanism or vessel for promoting their works. Which is it? Either YouTube creators serve as a vessel for promotion or we don't, but it can't be both. In conclusion, the videos that were targeted were One Piece and Dragon Ball related. These are stories that are incredibly important to me. It's what got me into YouTube in the first place, and I refuse to let it be the reason I'm pushed out. I want these videos back. They are an important part of what brings new viewers to my channel and what ultimately contributed to this company's success. Moving forward, I will be re-uploading supercuts of these removed review series. However, with regards to new content, it saddens me to say it, but I won't be supporting any Dragon Ball release until such time this wrong has been righted. This includes the upcoming film Dragon Ball Super Superhero. I cannot, in good conscience, support a company that actively disrespects, despises, and destroys its own community like this. Toei Animation, you do not have my support, and if what I've said here today has resonated with any of you at all watching, I encourage both creators and viewers alike to join me in solidarity and not support this film. Now, I understand that many creators out there need to create content surrounding these properties, and I wouldn't dream of asking you to stop. But what I will say is that I have been made an example of here. This was targeted to send a message. Toei has effectively told us that they have a gun to the head of every single person covering their material. And if they so choose, regardless of their content, they can pull the trigger whenever they want without repercussions. So, I say to you all, we are Toei's source of income. And what they are doing is abusive. We have the power to make them listen, and if you stand with me on this, wonderful, but if you can't, know that I completely understand. Regardless, I cannot and will not support this company after what they have done. It's such a terrifying thought that a villainous company like this is responsible for one of the most uplifting and treasured parts of my childhood. It's a soul-destroying thought. As my closing statement, I'd like to give YouTube some actionable advice. Instead of investing resources into the removal of a feature that no one on this platform wanted to be removed, the dislike button, consider a reworking of your content ID system to at least expedite this outrageously slow and corrupt process that these companies are consistently, openly, and willfully taking advantage of. I await your reply. Dragon Ball is all about pushing oneself to overcome challenges, and One Piece is all about shooting for your dreams no matter how crazy they might be. Toei isn't going to stop me, and Toei will not win. I've been Mark Fitzpatrick, and I thank you so much for your time.